Thank you for this invitation, and thank you for sharing some time together in this turbulent conditions, I would say. Of course, you're mentioning the situation of tourism. It's completely different situation, but everybody will recognize that 180 degrees turnaround, I would say. And what we are doing quite now in Amsterdam is we think in three phases: stabilizing the shock, of course. We are now midst in this health crisis, but also keeping the economy running. And we're already thinking about the recovery phase. And I think that's where I would like to share some thoughts with you. And I think we need each other the coming months, years, to find new solutions for this kind of answers we never coped with before, because we're coming from a situation, I think my colleague from Sevilla also mentioned the tourism industry. It's completely a turnaround, and where is the new business case to be made? And again, having a good conditions for our inhabitants in Amsterdam themselves, that we are living in a city where you live in, and firstly, and it's not an open air theater. And that is the case we have now. It's difficult to talk in opportunities because we are in the midst of this crisis, but I think we need, especially at local level, to find this kind of new solutions. And the first step of recovery, because we are thinking in the Netherlands, and that's the national government, of course, putting a lot of investment, money on the table to make sure that the entrepreneurs are connected to the people who are working with them. So there's a lot of effort now in the Netherlands, so also in Amsterdam, that this connection between the employer and the employee is still there when we go into the recovery phase. Because the last crisis, the financial crisis of the end of 2008, 9, 10, we saw that there was a lot of effort to be put on, because then the reaction was we are untying this combination between employees and entrepreneurs. And then you see in this recovery phase, it took a lot of time to start up business again, because there were no employees anymore available. So that is our first reaction. The second reaction is, how do we cope with this virus condition? We are thinking now in the Netherlands of the 1-point meter society. I don't know if everybody's familiar with the metric system, but it's kind of distancing within the public atmosphere. But also, how do you cope with your own business as an entrepreneur with this 1.5 meters distance? If you want to go to a restaurant, is that possible? If you look in a recreational setting, can you still go to a museum? How do you operate within the public environment? How do you deal that with the public transport? That are the questions, and that we are looking for new solutions to see at least getting started again. But still, we're now in the midst of this health crisis, so we're not ready there. And I think everybody, at least as far as I see in Europe and also in America, we are facing the same problem. How do we find new solutions within this area? The next phase is getting back to normal in a new condition. And that's some kind of fortune telling, which I can't and nobody can. But still, we are, I think we are, have the vision that some sectors will never come back to the old heights, so to say. So we need new business cases, and we are looking now in the environmental and in getting the new energy resources, getting new jobs, for instance, within putting all kind of new energy way, wind, sun. Is that a possibility? Is that a new area we could develop and where we could invest in, also from a local community, to combine this environmental new approaches together with finding new jobs for people who will lose their jobs because of this crisis? this is what we are now debating, and we are trying to find new solutions to that, which means that, of course, we are now in the midst of supporting measures for the liquidity in business itself. We are looking for specific sectoral approaches where new jobs can be found, maybe or maybe not. And we really want to see if this can be supported with the good investments to do. We as a municipality don't have all the resources available, but we are looking at that. But as I started with this introduction, we need the good ideas. We need to discuss this among each other. And I hope that there will be now an email address there, international office at amsterdam.nl, which we open up to see if we can have this kind of exchange of ideas and have more in-depth discussions where solutions are to be found within our cities. Because that's my last remark, we need each other. Thank you very much for this opportunity.